Hello all, thank you for being here with us, watching another episode of Learn from the Greeks. And today we have the honor and our guest is Leda Karabela. She's a long career both in US and Europe, and she's a strategy and executive coach. Hello Leda, thank you for being here with us today.
Good morning, Los Angeles. I happen to be in Greece right now. Wonderful, beautiful Greece, even though it's cloudy, right before March 25th, our
Mhm.
200th anniversary. How are you?
I'm good, I'm pretty good. I'm waiting for our celebrations here in LA.
Fantastic. Excellent.
Uh, could you please tell us a little bit more about your course of life?
Okay, I was born in Greece. I was always for justice and I wanted to go into law, naively thinking that law would offer me the opportunity to offer justice to people. Little did I know.
Hmm.
After 4 years of law school in Thessaloniki, in Aristotle University, I went to the States, where originally the idea was that I was going to do international studies in law. But I switched my careers and I did a master's in communication because I believe people are very important. We are connecting the dots in everything we do. Relationships and the way we build trust and the way we build rapport with other people is one of the most crucial elements in life. So I have had a career both in the US, worked in healthcare, worked in advertising, spent a lot of time in California in healthcare at Alta Bates Sutter Healthcare and at Stanford, the GSB, the Graduate School of Business, where I was the corporate relations director. And eventually, after the dot com, I moved back to Greece, where I had a corporate career with Microsoft, with BP, spent some time in London, spent some time in Dubai. And for the last 10 years, I've did a third master's in coaching, and I've been advising companies and executives in strategy and strategic alliances. So I've been coming and going. I'm both an American citizen and a Greek citizen. My daughter is in San Francisco. My son is in Houston. I have a home in San Francisco. I have a home in Athens. I'm currently in Thessaloniki. So I've been moving around, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I guess I'm one of the first digital nomads because I have clients all over the world. So that's my path.
Very interesting path, very cosmopolitan, very, you have a big variety of everything.
Well, the
Uh,
world is an oyster and it's getting smaller, even though for the last year, because of COVID, we've been watching it through the lens of a laptop or computers on or phone lines.
Indeed,
So,
yeah. Well, about your work now, I would like to ask you what intrigued you to change your career path and focus on leadership and executive coaching? You told us that you naively believed in law wasn't right for you.
well, I decided against practicing law very early on because I found it quite confining. Instead, I wanted to help corporations build their brands, build loyalty with various target audiences, with customers, with media, with stockholders, with all kinds of groups that were critical for the corporation, and also helping the corporation do good, because I do believe that in the social enterprise. Um, about 10, 11 years ago, when I was in Dubai, in Middle East, working for Microsoft, traveling like crazy, I realized that people were much more important. And I wanted to work closely with individuals, one on one and in groups, bringing out the best in them. Because what we do basically is enhancing performance. It's not that I teach you stuff, I help guide the discussion into finding what's the best in you so that these qualities come out.
I
Does
ask?
that make sense?
Yeah, I'm going to ask you what is the difference between mentoring and coaching?
A mentor is usually somebody who has had a long career, a lot of experience in a field,
Mhm.
and he or she takes under his or her wings somebody who's more junior. He's willing to guide them, give them professional advice, give them guidance and the way to stir things. It's like a teacher, but with a different scope. But basically, it's helping somebody in a professional setting. A lot of corporations have mentoring programs where more senior executives guide more junior executives who are set for advancement. So if you are high potential and you want to move up, as you build your networks, because networks are extremely important in our lives and the way we navigate all kinds of transactions, it would be wise to have a mentor. The chemistry between a mentor and a mentee is critical. So it's a relationship that's being created more within a corporate setting. Now, being a coach, coaches do not teach, coaches do not consult. As I said, they try to guide their client into figuring out the specific objectives and goals that they have in mind. They do two things: they support and they challenge. They support at the thought level. So if you have an idea that you want to go to Mars, I can support you in that, but at the same time, I will challenge you. How on earth will you be able to go to Mars? What is the plan? How do you connect the dots? How do you go from A to B to C? So that is the difference. You do not offer advice. As you talk, you bring out with through the thought process stuff that the other person has in their minds and in their hearts, and that's a very creative process, a very exhilarating experience for both parties, because that's how you move forward. It's very critical in our careers and our busy lives. We usually don't have time to stop, pause, and think. What is it that we're doing? Why are we doing it? What is it that we really want? We get into the avalanche of busyness, and sometimes we forget the original goal that we have in our lives, personal and professional. So this is what I'd like to do with people.
Probably COVID helped us in this sense because we just paused our lives in a sense.
At the same time, it created a lot of anxiety, a lot of distress. Um, I find it personally as an opportunity to think through what's important and what's not. Certain critical relationships, even though we're not able to physically hug our friends, our family, a lot of people, and we're distant, there are many ways to communicate. And if you really want to build the bonds, and if you really want to keep the relationships, then you can find the ways to do them. And it's up to us to find the strength and to find the right things that anchor us and brings us down to earth and the way we connect. It's resilience. It's all about resilience these days. It's how do we find what's in our hearts to move forward and what's going to give us strength. Different from everybody, yet you have to think about it and you have to put it in perspective.
Um, I would like to bring you back to the mentoring and
Uh-huh.
coaching and ask you what are the main reasons a seasoned executive would find coaching useful? A seasoned executive, not a junior one.
I think for, as I said, for people who are extremely busy, they all have their challenges, right?
Mhm.
And within the realm of challenges, there are domains and fields where they could use the space to think. Is
Okay.
it better to think alone, or is it better to have somebody who's a mirror, who is somebody who can hear what you're saying, and then you can test your own hypothesis?
Mhm.
So as you have conversations, what you're saying to a third person is very different than the voice in your own head. It sounds luxurious. It sounds something that may be considered a luxury these days because we are pressed, because we have to be agile, because we have to take care of our business, because we have to take care of our employees. But it's extremely critical because that's going to give us that space, that's going to give us the focus.
Um, and while you're traveling abroad and while you're living in California, what do you miss most from Greece?
I believe that home is where the people you love are. So whenever I'm in California, I miss my friends all over the world. Whenever I'm in Greece, I miss my kids who are in the States and friends that I have all over the world. So the grass is always greener on the other side. But for me, it's that human connection that makes the difference. It's the people that challenge you, that raise the bar, that make you think, that make you feel, that bring up emotions that you don't have on a daily basis. So we have a bunch of friends, and our friends are different. We have a bunch of colleagues, and our colleagues are different. They're all pieces of a puzzle. And life is very interesting because of that big puzzle, and because of that change, and because of the diversity, and because of all the differences that we have. And I think COVID has tested us all because that diversity is missing from our lives. We spend so much time in our homes, isolated. Yes, we walk the dogs, we go exercising. Each one of us finds whatever keeps them sane. For me, it's the relationships, it's the people. I talked to my daughter who's in San Francisco, and right now, for the last few months, I've been stuck in Greece. Stuck, not exactly stuck. I like it, but anyway, I haven't seen either my son or my daughter for almost 2 years. I talk to them very often, and it's not the same, yet it's much more significant because we do keep in touch. So that's what I do. Granted, because I've been living in different countries and I've moved so many times in my life, I'm used to it. So it doesn't bother me. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. There's a difference between being isolated and being separated from the rest of the world. Whatever we do, it's up to us. So we are the ones that are going to make that choice.
Indeed, indeed. Uh, do you have a particular place in Greece that you like, that you have?
Place?
Yeah, like Thessaloniki, like, I don't know, something else. A place,
I
yeah.
think my favorite place of all of Greece is the island of Milos. It's a
Uh-huh.
phenomenal island, incredible beaches, incredible white, sandy, rocky coast. And actually, there's a lot of it that reminds me of Northern California. If you drive towards Monterey from San Francisco on Highway 1, there are lots of places that, that comes back to me. Maybe because that's my Greekness, maybe because I'm Mediterranean. But I've always loved cities with the sea. I spent a lot of time in London, and I chose to live in Kew Gardens, right on the Thames, because I like water. Maybe I was a druid when I was if there are different lifestyles. I mean, lifetimes. But I miss it's the light. It's that sun. It's the color of Greece, and it's that Mediterranean feel that touches my heart. And then, of course, it's the people. But again, when I'm in Greece, I meet certain people somewhere else. So it's that degree of fire and level of dissatisfaction because you want more, because you want to go places, because you want to see stuff. I miss traveling. Okay, forget the biggest challenge that I have right now is that I don't travel as much. And maybe I have intellectual ADD. I get bored if I spend too much time in one place.
It will come back soon, pretty soon. We're at the end right now, I think.
Yeah.
So my final question is going to be, well, in a scenario, in a fantasy, If it was supposedly possible, which particular Greek characteristic would you like to bring to a Californian entrepreneur and vice versa?
Stubbornness.
What do
Oh,
you-
yes. Um, okay, stubbornness has a negative connotation, okay? You want to put it as persistence,
Good one. Depends. What you...
grit, you don't give up, okay? Let's put it, it's something that, I think that's the best description. You don't want to give up. You're not going to let anyone divert you from your original goal. So you want that persistence, you want that grit, you want that devotion to the original goal. What is it that you want? You think you found it, work hard, go and find it and make it up and succeed. It's all up to us. You can slip and fall 100 times. It doesn't matter. The 101st is the time that you're going to get up and you're going to succeed. So never, never, ever, ever give up.
Yeah, you're right about that, about Greek stubbornness in a good and bad sense. Well, Leda, I would like to thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for inviting
offering
me. I appreciate it.
offering us
Okay.
the interview, this insight in the
Happy 200th anniversary. What is LA going to light up? I know San Francisco, is it going to be City Hall? What is LA going to do?
City Hall and yeah.
Wow. Did you see the opera in Sydney? It was spectacular. The blue and white Sydney opera. So you guys do something in the States as well, okay?
Yeah, we have many.
Excellent. Fantastic. Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.